These Brits changed the face of cinema for good. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most influential British actors.
A lark, a spree, it's very clear to see.
Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at male and female British screen actors whose iconic characters and careers have had the biggest impact on film and pop culture.
What about the Union Jack? Was Mr. Blair's next suggestion.
Number 10, Ian McKellen.
You shall not pass!
Letting us through first, an actor best known as one of the wisest figures in all Middle-earth, as well as for his magnetising performances in X-Men. A firm fan favourite at Comic-Con, Ian McKellen is one of Britain's leading big screen talents.
I have made the first move. That is all they know.
Not bad for a guy who once said that people didn't want him in their movies. His tireless campaigning for LGBT rights and proud advocacy for the arts has also made McKellen an icon beyond the screen and one of the UK's most influential voices.
It would be like I was in the Olympics.
Bitch, please.
Number 9, Maggie Smith.
The Signora distinctly wrote.
While some actors are best known for one or two huge parts, Dame Maggie Smith has routinely delivered stellar performances throughout a career spanning 7 decades. From 65's Othello to 69's The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, 85's A Room with a View and 2001's Gosford Park, her highlights are standout moments of cinema.
About that last run of yours.
She's also loved by a whole new generation as Professor McGonagall in the Harry Potter films, while a turn as Miss Shepherd in The Lady in the Van had critics cooing all over again.
Well, in a van it would be far too expensive.
Number 8, Helen Mirren.
Just make sure you never let the boys hear you talk like that.
All rise for acting royalty. Helen Mirren is instantly recognised for her 2006 portrayal of Elizabeth II, which won her an Academy Award and praise from the Queen herself, who reportedly invited the actress for dinner, but Mirren couldn't make it.
I doubt there is anyone who knows the British people more than I do, Mr. Blair, nor who has greater faith in their wisdom and judgment.
She was made a dame in 2003, however, so we're sure she's had a good nosy around the palace already.
Oh, you imp, you've got nudity in there.
Away from the throne, parts in Cal, The Madness of King George, Hitchcock and Red prove Helen's unprecedented acting range.
I love you.
I know.
Number 7, Judi Dench. To one of the UK's most decorated actresses, Judi Dench has won 10 BAFTAs, 2 SAG Awards, 2 Golden Globes, and she bagged an Oscar in 1998 for just 8 minutes of screen time as Elizabeth I in Shakespeare in Love.
Your Majesty.
Speak up, girl, I know who I am.
But she's arguably best known for her role as the first female M in James Bond, playing a major part in 7 007 stories.
Well, I suppose I see a different world than you do. And the truth is that what I see frightens me.
Considering the damning feedback she reportedly received after one of her earliest auditions, her career is quite something.
Because I think you're a sexist, misogynist dinosaur.
Number 6, Michael Caine.
The thing I like about Ruby, she's a mature woman.
A godfather for the on-screen East End gangster, he was championing gritty genre roles long before the likes of Guy Ritchie were on the scene.
They killed my brother, it's...
From his trademark Cockney accent to badass one-liners and famous fight sequences, Michael Caine's a no-nonsense national treasure. And thanks to roles in the Dark Knight trilogy and the Kingsman franchise, he has continually bridged the generation gap too. Everyone seems to have a favourite Caine character, which is testament to his staying power at the very top of his game.
I can see everything all right from down here, sir, thank you very much.
Number 5, Anthony Hopkins.
You think if Catherine lives, you won't wake up in the dark ever again?
While undoubtedly best known for his Oscar-winning turn as the charismatic cannibal Hannibal Lecter, Anthony Hopkins takes today's 5th spot for a rich, varied and award-winning career which continually raises the bar.
How could Joy be my wife?
From Shadowlands to The Elephant Man, he can play good guys, bad guys, characters with ulterior motives, characters with very definite motives, caring husbands and devoted fathers.
Miss Kenton, if you would stop to think for a moment, you would realise that how inappropriate it is for one such as yourself to address as William, someone such as my father.
That said, he does play a bloody good villain. Lecter still chills to the core, his costume is still a Halloween favourite and he'll always be an iconic film character.
Still wake up sometimes, don't you? You wake up in the dark and hear the screaming of the lamb.
Number 4, Sean Connery.
Only Anne would have me court-martialed for illegal use of government property.
Did someone say Bond? Forever known as the first 007, Sean Connery set a gold standard for spy movies.
I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
He's suave, sophisticated, he can get out of a tight squeeze, and he's very definite about how he takes his refreshments.
I made you all wet.
Yes, but my martini's still dry.
Away from international espionage, Connery boasts roles in films including The Hunt for Red October, Finding Forrester, and The Untouchables, which landed him a Best Supporting Actor Oscar in 1988.
That's the Chicago way.
A legend in his own lifetime, the Scot also scored 2 BAFTAs and 3 Golden Globes in a glittering career.
Punch the keys, for God's sake!
Number 3, Daniel Day-Lewis.
It is a self-evident truth that things which are equal to the same thing are equal to each other.
My Left Foot, There Will Be Blood, Lincoln. We could continue listing definitive movies from this man's outstanding back catalogue. As one of Britain's most decorated actors, Daniel Day-Lewis has set new standards time and time again.
One night I'm going to come to you inside of your house, wherever you're sleeping, and I'm going to cut your throat.
A meticulous method actor, he's been known to stay in character for months at a time. Such is his dedication to the role, and the effort always proves worthwhile. With 3 Best Actor Oscars under his belt, he's a record-breaking giant of the industry.
Stop crying, you snivelling ass. Stop your nonsense.
Number 2, Julie Andrews. She's supercalifragilistic and then some.
When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad.
An actor who charmed her way into everyone's childhoods as Mary Poppins, Julie Andrews is also famous for Maria in The Sound of Music, and younger generations know her as Queen Clarice from The Princess Diaries.
Dear little girl, you are terribly blessed, but it's your heart of gold I love the best.
It all started with The Magical Nanny though, a big screen debut role which won Andrews an Oscar, a Golden Globe, and a Grammy for the catchiest of soundtracks.
A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
The film was one of Disney's first forays into live-action features, changing the climate for kids' movies forever.
Cheeky.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions.
I am Dracula, and I welcome you to my house. I must apologize for not being here to greet you personally, but I trust that you have found everything you needed.
Nice suit. John Phillips, London. I have 2 myself.
Mr. President, the technology required is easily within the means of even the smallest nuclear power.
Number 1, Charlie Chaplin. Also known as the Little Tramp thanks to his iconic slapstick character, Charlie Chaplin is probably the most famous actor of the silent era. He was involved in every aspect of filmmaking, including writing, directing, editing, scoring, and distribution. Perhaps his defining role came after the transition to talkies, however, a change which Chaplin didn't always support. The great dictator took on Hitler and the Nazis at a time when some countries still upheld appeasement policies toward Germany. Today, the film is one of cinema's most famous satires.
We need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and subscribe for more great content.